Oh, that was the worst experience all year that I had. Squirrels coming out of the ceiling, dying on the floor. I can't get that out of my head.
James, what kind of office you running here?
Wow. Okay, so what how do you feel about that now?
Honestly, it disgusts me. I feel like my cubicle is contaminated with rabies. I'm imagining that there's like squirrel feces in the ceiling. It's driving me crazy. I can't even sit here anymore.
Get her a new office, man.
Time out, because
I don't know. I don't know. There might be powerlessness in leadership. It sounds like there's also powerlessness in the worker too here.
Patch up the hole. Get the squirrels out. Call the exterminator. Something.
Hey, hello, David Pierce.
Nice background.
Thank you.
That's nice. Those maps back there? Oh, it's not real, is it?
It's not real. It's just
What
AI.
is real?
Right. What is real? Am I real? Am I?
We're getting there.
We are very close.
Well, what brings you up,
wow.
James?
Yeah. Faces. I come here a lot and I never see people's faces that I talk to because I'm usually a teacher here. And so it's such a relief to see somebody's face that I'm talking to.
Nice.
So I do run a group, and in the group today, the topic of the day was helplessness. And so I've been thinking about helplessness a lot. In my personal situation, I'm a professional educator. I run education programs in a nonprofit, and I'm the director and I manage staff, and I actually have a lot of responsibility. I used to just be an English teacher. Now I'm an administrator. I have a lot of responsibility. And typically, when you think of like that role, there's a lot of power related to that role. But, and I recognize that I have a lot of power. I don't think of myself as a powerless person, but I really have these experiences where I feel nearly completely helpless to do what I want to do or even move in any direction in my role, in my job, in at the top of this, well, in a hierarchy, because there's people above me too, but and it came to a head this week where my number two person, the person who's really like my partner, needs to help me run the department, just went full insubordinate, would not answer my messages, went over to my head to my supervisor and basically said, like, James is giving me too much work. And I thought, well, I don't see it that way. She's been doing nothing. And I hate to push people to work, but if she doesn't do it, it means I have to do it. And I can't. I just have too much work. And so I really felt, and I'm still, because it's a live situation, just helpless. Like, if I push on her, like, do the work, she's going to quit. She's going to quit. And if I don't, I'm going to have to push in the other direction where management is like, do more projects. And I'm going to have to say, no. And, I'm aware. So my whole approach to this helplessness thing is that I believe that we all truly are helpless in the face of other people. Like, other people do whatever they do. You know, we don't have control over what other people do. And I am doing my best to focus on what am I doing, and what do I really want to do in this situation? Do I want to say no to my boss? Do I want to kind of give an ultimatum to my employee? Is there even a right decision? Or
I'm trying to figure out the best strategy to fulfill what you would like to occur.
Let me say it as two pieces. I think that's true. I would like to determine my strategy, but I think there's another part of it, which is like, I want to look like a bird's eye view at what's going on and kind of recognize that I might come up with a good strategy. I might not, but there's a helplessness of being in a certain context with things that are outside of my control. And it may just be that there is no good answer to this problem, that it's,
I'm so sorry. I'll be right back, Cass.
I may just be in a tough spot, and it's not about me. It's just that I'm there in that tough spot, and that's just where I am.
You mind if I repeat back what you've told me? Okay, great.
Please.
So you're an educator. There's people above you, people below you, and you observe that someone below you, you assign them work, and instead of going directly to you, they went to someone above you and said, "Hey, James is giving me too much work. I just can't do it." And then you said that there was a certain amount of helplessness that you thought to yourself. I'm wondering, at this point, when you found out that she went over your head and went to your boss and told him that you were giving her too much work, what was alive inside of you? How did you feel at that moment?
Betrayed, disappointed, and hopeless. Kind of like a despair,
Okay.
Despair that I wasn't going to be able to connect with her, that she had kind of detached from me. Like, we had been, up to that point, we had always been working together, talking, sometimes frustrating, but this was the first time where she basically just removed herself from the conversation with me as if she had given up. And so I felt like if she's at the point of just avoiding me, I'm either going to chase her down and that's going to make things worse, or I'm going to just stay here where we're not communicating, and that is a problem.
Okay, I think I understand here. So from your excuse me, a little frog in my throat. I can take a drink of water here.
Take your time.
Thanks. Okay. So I think from your perspective, so you observed her going over your head. You assigned her work. She went to your boss, said it's too much work. You had a feeling of despair. And then what is underlying this despair? Why did you feel despair? What was behind that?
Yeah, thanks. I think I'd like to be successful in my role as the director. I'd like us to accomplish our projects and assist people, run efficiently and develop. Like, I'd like the department to develop. I'd like the interpersonal relationships between the staff to develop, and I want to develop a relationship of trust with her. But I want to trust her, but I don't trust her. I see her behavior and I think, how can I trust her? I'm not seeing a way to trust her. I see her, she's supposed to be there 5 days a week. She only comes in 2 days. if I call her on the day that she's not there and say, "What are you doing?" This is now what she does. She's going to my supervisor saying, "James is bothering me and doesn't appreciate me." Well, it's true. I mean, I appreciate her this much, but when she doesn't fulfill her duties, it's true. I don't appreciate her and I don't trust her and I'm really irritated. I don't want to, yeah.
Okay. I've heard your perspective here, and let's try to look at it from her point of view at this point. So,
okay.
Stepping into her shoes, I'll try to step into her shoes, and I'll ask you, for clarity along the way here. So she observed that you gave her some work. I don't know. The details probably don't really matter. So work was given to her. And then at this point, she went to your boss. What do you think her feelings were when she received the work and was contemplating whether she should go and talk to your boss or not?
Yeah, she's probably thinking, James is being lazy. He wants me to do what he should be doing, and he's not appreciating how much work I already have, so he's making unreasonable requests of me.
Okay. What I heard was probably an analysis of the situation, and that might be true. She might have been made that analysis. What do you think the feeling was?
Probably some kind of terror of me saying, like, "What are you doing?" Or just like surprise and irritation. Like, I've been doing this for the last couple of months, and yeah, I know James doesn't like it, but wow, he never like sent me 10 messages in an hour trying to figure out what I'm doing. He's really pushing too hard, and I don't like it.
Okay. Fear, irritation. Okay, gotcha. And then she went to your boss. What do you think was underlying the potential fear or irritation? What was beneath that?
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking as if I'm her. What if somebody thinks that I'm not doing my job, and then like I'll be embarrassed, or I'll be scolded, or I'll be written up or criticized for doing the wrong thing, and my work that I've been working so hard on will not be appreciated. It'll all be wasted, and people will only see this bad thing that is really just James's misunderstanding. It's not who I am. It's not what I'm really doing.
So what I'm hearing you kind of speculate about, because we don't really know this for certain, but it sounds like this fear and irritation might be the root cause of that. Might be like she wants to be like in a safe place, kind of where she doesn't want to get criticized or rock the boat or stuff like that, I'm hearing.
Yeah, definitely. She'd like to be in a safe, comfortable place where she's not getting criticized, she's not getting doubted, she's not getting interrogated, but rather people just trust her process, trust her in a profound way.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we kind of went through what from your point of view, and we went through it with her point of view. Is there any possible solutions now that we went through both?
one possible solution is that I, James, take it on like I'm used to doing, just like I'll just do it. Somebody's not doing it, I'll do it.
Okay.
You know, there's more work, I'll figure out a way to do more.
One possible solution.
Yeah.
Any alternative solutions?
Another solution would be kind of like to figure out what priorities I have that I just need to do these things. And then some other things that maybe I'm doing that are extra that I can just drop. And it's, you know, we'd lose something, but we wouldn't lose the whole boat. Some people are going to be upset and probably come to me and say, you were doing this before, why aren't you doing it? And I'll say something like, sorry, you know, it's true we were doing that and we're not doing that right now because there are other priorities. So something like that, like prioritizing without pushing things on her, but just for myself, prioritizing, making sure I'm getting my work done and kind of allowing the dust to settle around me.
Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing is you could essentially do all of the work. Another solution would be to just do some of the work. Some of the other work gets dropped. Is there any other solutions, or are those the only two?
The third one would be something like approaching her in the most kind of compassionate way possible. So approaching her with the intention of reconnecting. So not to approach her so that I tell her my side and that she understands me, but simply to approach her and find some kind of relational reconnection so that our conversation restarts.
Okay, I gotcha. Do you think how I was talking to you and hearing out your side, and then obviously you speculated on her side, if you were to ask her kind of the same questions I did, where it was like I repeated back what you observed, I asked what you were feeling, I asked what was alive inside of you, and then I asked what was underlying that. Do you think that might be a approach that might work for talking with her about this issue?
I didn't follow the question. Can
Okay.
you say that again?
Yeah, so I kind of went through what is called nonviolent communication, sort of. You kind of told me the observations that you made, the whole scenario. I repeated it back to you. I asked you how you felt about it. I asked what was supporting that feeling, what was underlying that feeling that you had. And do you think that might be an approach if you talk to her in that kind of way? Do you think that might help find a possible solution?
I feel helpless in relation to you now. The way you talked to me was what was I still couldn't get it.
Nonviolent communication.
The nonviolent communication term I got, but the actual steps that you led me through. I know something about her observations, and then what?
Well, we kind of went through both sides. So like the observation, the feeling, and then what was supporting the feeling.
So let me just say, so this is why I feel so helpless, because I'm an old hand at NVC. I know OFNR. I know all of that. I know Marshall and all that. I do.
Perfect.
But somehow when you said it, I was just putting it together, like, and really hearing what you said, I was like, I was in a maelstrom. So can you walk me through it like I am 5 years old?
Okay.
What would I do in relation to her and it is possibly?
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to put on James's hat here. I'm going to pretend to be James. Okay.
Hey, James.
So, hi.
Nice background.
Don't look at the sign. Okay. So, I am now James. Let's say your coworker's name is Alyssa. Okay, so I'd say, hey, Alyssa, I yesterday was, perhaps a a rough day. I think it was a rough day for both of us, perhaps. So, but I saw that you had gone to Mark, my superior. You had talked to him about your workload, and I'm wondering how you what are you feeling? Let's leave it at that. How are you feeling, James? If you want to pretend to be Alyssa, how do you think she'd
I'll be
respond?
Alyssa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Alyssa.
Alyssa would say, "Are you serious? You're going to ask me that after the things you said? You know what I'm doing, and I've said it already to Mark. But I really can't work in a situation like this. There's too much pressure, and like and you're, is that what you want? Is that what you want? You want me to do more because that I have the summer session coming up, and I'm not getting any help. I'm doing that alone, and this is just not going to work. So
I'm sensing a lot of frustration here, and I really want to hear you out. I really want to know. I want to know what's alive inside.
And did you read my
now.
email? Did you read my email? Because I sent you my email, and I have to do I have to do the schedules for the drivers, and I asked you to do the insurance. You didn't talk to the insurance guy, but and then the dead squirrel just was the last straw. And so if I have to make things manageable for myself. And why are you coming? Why are you coming to the university to meet me? That was just weird.
It does sound like you are really frustrated at the moment. I'd really like to talk to you about this. Is that something that you'd like to do?
Yeah, well, we're talking right now, so what did you want to say?
Terrific. Okay. Yeah, I really would like to.
Because I go to the university every Tuesday, you know that, and when I go there, I need a little bit of space. I can't work in that office with the squirrels running around, and it's hot, and it's just boring, and I have my limits.
Okay. We can talk about the squirrels. Let's talk about the office. That it sounds like that's something that's really important to you.
Oh, that was the worst experience all year that I had. Squirrels coming out of the ceiling, dying on the floor. I can't get that out of my head.
James, what kind of office you running here?
Wow. Okay, so what how do you feel about that now?
Honestly, it disgusts me. I feel like my cubicle is contaminated with rabies. I'm imagining that there's like squirrel feces in the ceiling. It's driving me crazy. I can't even sit here anymore.
Get her a new office, man.
Time out. Because
I don't know. I don't know. There might be powerlessness in leadership. It sounds like there's also powerlessness in the worker too here.
Patch up the hole. Get the squirrels out. Call the exterminator. Something.
We had the exterminator come in four times. Four times. And then we walked in, and there were dead squirrels on the floor. It was horrifying.
Jeez.
The exterminators threw poison packets into the ceiling. And we're like, is that really the solution? Because then we're going to have to go into the ceiling.
Yeah,
and
you got to catch them out. That's not how you treat squirrels.
No.
Look, this was new for me. This was a new extermination experience with the exterminators and everything. It sounded crazy to me. But I was living
on the outside of the hole where they're at and bait them.
That's what they said they would do. But they're public housing, and public housing, slow process. And we were in a bind because the whole office was like terrorized. It was like war. The squirrels were at war with us. They were running around on the ceiling. You didn't know if they were going to like drop in on you. I mean, it was like a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And I was terrorized. And yeah, I was there way more than her. I was being terrorized more than her, but I get it. She's also found it really unsettling.
Why didn't you just use the Squirrels as the extra help? They could do the insurance, the driver schedules. I mean, you had the manpower there. I mean, I don't understand why you give them something to do. They won't be bothering you. They'll be too busy.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Is there a list of all this stuff like written out, like her grievances? Is it all like listed out anywhere?
No. I have not written out my grievances, and she has not written out hers. What she wrote to my supervisor was, and I don't know, I'm not critical of this, but it was just surprising. It was just a list of all the wonderful things she had done. And I read that and I was like, it wasn't like the typical letter I would expect, which is like, James did this and James did that. Yeah. Almost none of that. It was all like, by the way, did you know I'm awesome? Like, and
maybe she's looking for a pat on the back, like a little acknowledgement for her work.
She's looking for acknowledgement and appreciation for her work. Yeah.
Is that something that's you can reasonably give to her?
I do appreciate her. She is essential to the department, and she works really hard. And she's excellent. And it's really unfortunate. There are just these 1 or 2 or 3 key things that really get under my skin that somehow make it harder for me to just appreciate her. She always interrupts me. She doesn't tell me what she's doing. And without like my agreement, she has just decided that even though she's a full-time worker, she only works for 8 hours in the office. And the other 32 are like her time to decide how it gets like used. And it's just crazy to me. It's like, how could anybody, like, if I ever had a job like that and did that, I just would expect to be fired immediately. And somehow, anyhow, so that's those thoughts or that stuff is like, it makes it really hard for me to give like a full-throated, like, you're great and I need you so much and you're really helping me do things.
Have you considered just complimenting the things that she does instead of trying to bolster her as a person? Just say, hey, that report came in well. These things are running very smooth. And those are objective facts that are, you don't have to butter up. It's not having to be disingenuous.
For sure. I think I've done that and I'm happy to do more of that. It's true. It's not disingenuous. So, maybe not all, but many of the things she wrote about are true. I do appreciate all the things, many of the things she wrote as being, you did that. That was helpful. That was great. And
I missed the first half of this conversation, and I apologize. I had to step away for a second. But can I offer a suggestion of what I think?
Yeah, of course, please.
I think that you should sit down and try to write down everything you think that she's upset about, and then as her manager, like make that list out, and then try to make like goals on when these things could either be resolved, changed, or if there's nothing you can do about it. Like they're saying there's no help. It's like, well, if we could get these things done, maybe we could talk about this at this time, or the office is at. Well, this is the quarter when we can address office requests or something like that. Like literally itemize the thing.
David, I hate to reject your advice out of hand.
Oh, I'll take it.
But when you say that, the mental image I get when you say that is like, I am this drowning person and I'm like reaching out for like the lifeguard's hand, and the lifeguard is like, can you pay for my next certificate course? And I'm like, blah 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 blah. The idea of like working to help her while I'm like drowning and she's coming in 2 days a week is like, if there's something in me that is like, burn the place down.
Well,
burn it all down.
To clarify what I'm saying, I hear what you're saying, and what I want to clarify is what I'm saying. When you're writing down her needs, you're systematically showing where your needs come up in that, when your needs as the person and as her manager. She says, I need this, and this is the explanation of why you act the way that you do, or this is, if that's something they want, then we need to do this. If and then. This is a way to communicate your needs. That's not just a flippant, get it in when you can. When you see her, it's like you sit down, you get a time, and it's a time that you can take appreciation for specific things that she's doing. Doesn't have to say that she's great. You don't have to say that she's a wonderful person. She might be. You don't have to say it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is that to the degree with which I can consider what she wants and how she's frustrated and what she's not getting, the degree with which I can consider that, it's going to make it easier for me to meet her where she is.
You're saying that you want her to, she's down here doing whatever she's doing. You're wanting her to be doing this stuff up here. As your manager, maybe you could use your skill set and your perspective to help navigate how to get from there to here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's too busy looking over here. I mean, I've been there. I was a project manager for a thing that I literally, my phone never stopped getting. I was in so many group chats. I was in so many email strings. And I had 200 properties I had to keep up with, and I was drowning. I get it. And it's without somebody from a bird's eye view sometimes, or who's walked the path before, you can get really hyper focused on one thing or two things or 20 things.
Yes.
But there's 20 other things that are hard to see.
And that's, and it feels so tragic, because when I was saying to her, hey, what are you doing today? Is the project done? I was not saying like, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're bad. I wasn't saying like, is the project done? It should be done. I was thinking like, what, just like you said, like, what are you doing today? If you're doing 10 tasks, might we find 3 tasks you're doing that are unnecessary to make it easier for you to succeed? Is the project done? If not, maybe we could maybe I can help you, or maybe somebody can help you so that we make sure it gets done. Not like you didn't do it and so you're bad. But somehow I didn't say that. I didn't articulate that. And I think it was taken as like, what are you doing today? You're not doing anything. And is the project done? You should have finished it, which was not my intention. So yeah, I think that's,
she heard a criticism when you were not criticizing. You were trying to assist, really.
To gather data to assist effectively, yeah.
Yeah.
But what you wanted to do was assist. Oh, sorry, Pierce.
Yeah.
The way you explained it to us, say that to her. Because then I think she's a lot less likely to hear a criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like you're doing a pleasantry. Oh, what are you doing today? It's like, that's not the question. The question is I know there's something you need to do. Can I help you? Or you say, I've got some time right now. I can help you with something. Is there anything that you're stuck on?
And to be honest, in my mind, I was criticizing her. In my mind, I had mixed feelings. In my mind, I was like, are you like not doing anything? But when I wrote it out, it was kind of like in between, where it was like, hey, what are you doing? And so it left it ambiguous. And I think she defaulted to negative, where for whatever reason she would default to positive. I don't know why I thought that, but now I think that was a mistake. Let me make it explicitly positive when I write, so that there is not the chance of it, so it's not ambiguous. Make it unambiguous. I'm not criticizing you. I would like to help if possible. Yeah, I could see that having a different.
How do you feel after talking it out here at this point?
Oh yeah, it's a huge relief. I'm still like, it's still a lot of like noise in my head around this, but I think if I just focus on taking away like a few things, it would be talking it through to her in that way, which shows that I do appreciate her and want to support her rather than want to make things harder for her.
Yeah. And you can stop being a powerless manager and be solving problems. Are the squirrels gone at least?
The squirrels are gone.
Okay.
Did you disinfect the place?
Yeah, I did some Lysol.
Good.
Is it like recent? Like, was it like yesterday, the day before? Or?
It was this week. Yeah, it was.
You should
do a
gesture. Like, go in with like extra Clorox wipes. Like put some stuff in there. Like, you don't even
get some Febreze.
But literally just put some Clorox wipes on the cubicle and be like, yeah, I'll just wiping it down a little bit. I was thinking about it. Boom. That's a gesture. It's a bid. You've heard that from Gottman.
No,
like
tell
marriage
me.
Counseling. It's just like usually used between like married couples, but it's not the same. It's basically,
no, I see the
Be aware of whenever someone who cares about you that you're fighting with is offering a bid of a gesture to say, I'm trying to do something nice, even if like it doesn't solve the problem, even if it doesn't, if you're not getting your needs addressed in that way, it's not meant to replace that, but it's meant to add, like, to loosen you up a little bit so you're more open to them getting there. Be aware of it. And then also do it yourself. It adds up.
You mean making the bids?
Yeah.
Making the offer to the gestures, yeah.
Olive branches, those kind of things. Gestures.
Definitely. All right, I'm sweating now. This is
Maybe
getting
get her
hard.
a stuffed squirrel.
I'll get her a stuffed squirrel.
I don't suggest that. Don't do that. That's no.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Gas on the fire.
All right. Thank you, guys. Lovely to meet you here and have you here and talk with you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for coming up. That was great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Super. Okay. Take it easy.
We'll see you next time. Tell us how if the squirrels come back.
I'll tell you how it went. I'll tell you how it turned out.
Yeah.
Wait.